right, Randall. So the final question for the first Randall Cutter Talks segment is sober homes. So I come from a city, Pompano Beach, that is considered like the capital of sober home living. And it was a major issue when I ran for office in 2016, and they eventually put a moratorium on any more sober homes being added because of what it did to the community, the value of homes. So what are the specific issues concerning Coral Springs in sober homes? I know you have a personal story about that. Go ahead and share with everybody.
Well, one of the things that we all recognize is there are people that have substance abuse issues, and they need a place to be that will help them recover. At a certain point, a sober home becomes for them a shelter and a place that they are able to recover. I mean, my congregation has always provided space for AA because we want to help people recover. So when I hear about sober homes, my heart is like, oh, I sure hope they work really well for people. Now, they don't always work really well for the neighborhood they're in, and that's why in Pompano Beach, there's been some issues. And of course, in Coral Springs, I first became aware of it again while knocking on doors in a particular neighborhood. A gentleman talked about property values going down and people selling their homes all around a particular home. And I was thinking, wow, I didn't know that that was a major issue in our community. And then it came to a community in our city that last night at the commission meeting, that 28 people did public comment on their dissatisfaction with what has been happening. And in essence, they don't have a problem with the sober home. Federal law and their hearts are that if you can follow the guidelines, and the guidelines are simply this: you can't alter the appearance or the look of the neighborhood. In other words, in the neighborhood, no one should know that that's a recovery home or a sober home, because you don't want property values impacted. And if it becomes obvious because of the way that the home is run, that this is not just a normal residential home, that's when the city has to start getting involved. And last night's commission meeting was very interesting because of that, as all of the issues of need and the issues of the residents' needs, because the residents don't want to lose the value of their homes. And they certainly are concerned that their neighborhood stays the same neighborhood as much as possible that they bought into. It's a very complex issue, and all of us that are here recognize that we want to have places that will treat those who are trying to get their lives back on track. But at the same time, we want to make sure that we're protecting the property values so that people are not ending up losing money in their neighborhoods, especially since their homes are often their biggest single investment throughout their entire lives. We have to be able to balance both things, following federal guidelines and every other one of the guidelines that is out there, and there's our city code. And last night's issue was there's a whole bunch of them that are beginning to cluster in this one neighborhood, and how can the city respond to that? And I'm in total agreement. We need to study this at a very high level to protect the value of the properties in Coral Springs, while at the same time following all of the guidelines that we have from the federal government.